2021 program was really wildly successful.
There's high grade 550 meters north of the pit.
Everyone's holding their breath now at Iron Point, seeing what we're going to come up with.
We just announced last week a fully subscribed financing.
Out there at Lewis, a strongly anomalous gold everywhere.
Nevada King 2022 is going to be the most exciting year yet.
You don't stop. You keep pushing. I want to see how big these things are going to get.
The Atlanta gold mine project changed drastically from the results of the 2021 drilling program. Atlanta going into the 2021 program was a past producing gold mine with a 43101 resource that was marginal in that there were areas of overburden and waste rock, a relatively high strip ratio, and there was a lot to figure out in terms of where the mineralization went. The drilling in 2021 at Atlanta told us that there's high grade coming towards surface. There's high grade 550 meters north of the pit. So we've now got that traced over 1 kilometer. And several areas that were previously categorized as waste rock have now been turned into gold mineralization.
The results coming back indicated that we had tapped into substantially higher grades at Atlanta than we had anticipated based upon the historical data that we had. So this was really a game changer for Nevada King. 100 feet of an average of 5 to 6 grams per ton. Those are really good results, especially in an area where you never expected to get anything like that. Let's go after these elephants. We could have one in there. Let's find it.
Cal called me as the results were coming in for the 2021 program, and he said, "You're not going to believe this." And it was one surprise after another. The first set of data that we got back that was surprising was that whole 550 meters north of the pit. Whoa, high grade in a brand new discovery area. The second set of information that started to come in is areas previously categorized as waste rock are showing that they're mineralized and near surface. And then by far, the most exciting piece of information that comes is Cal managed to get a drill into the bottom of the pit and drills a fence of 5 holes that come back showing a 50 plus meter, so half of a football field thick bed of high grade oxide gold. And the market really woke up on that.
The focus then shifted from trying to outline a low grade resource to let's look at the higher grade potential on this thing in similar areas where historical drilling did not adequately define a resource. And so that then, of course, set the stage for what we're going to be doing in 2022. So we have to go back in now and simply recut a lot of the original roads that were in there so that we can get our drills in there and do this more detailed, closer space core drilling that's necessary in order to adequately define these high-grade chutes that our 2021 program showed starting at the bottom of the pit. And then we can start bringing the drills in and have fun.
Drilling for 2022 at Atlanta is scheduled to start in the first week of May. We're talking about there being a minimum of 3 rigs out there. So 2022, we're going to accelerate into that success. We know now that we have to track the mineralization south of that fence, north of that fence. We have to see if we can fill the gold in from the pit area up to the discovery hole 550 meters north. And we have to continue to look for gold in the halo as you're emanating out from the Atlanta mine fault.
If you can prove that those grades extend from hole to hole, now you're starting to talk a very different story with respect to the overall grade and resource at Atlanta. And that's where this was a game changer. Those holes in the bottom, they changed everything for us.
The Lewis project is a great project for Nevada King. You've got historic intercepts there over a broad area. There's a gold footprint. It's starting at surface. And so we're eagerly awaiting the results of the 2021 program. And meanwhile, Cal is starting to plan for a 2022 program, which is going to start, I would estimate, sometime in June, and is going to be far more aggressive than what we managed to get done in 2021.
The address on it is about as good as you're going to get, right in the middle of monster deposits.
That's the Celestine O'Neill resource that we staked a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Up in top. And that's going to be the focus. We've got great gold values up to 10 grams per ton in surface up there, and it's never been drilled. Let's go where the gold is. All of the contouring on the soils, the rocks, and the drill grade times thickness points that way.
Our upper plate mineralization is so strong and so widespread out there at Lewis that you have essentially strongly anomalous gold everywhere out there. We've already got a deposit we're sitting right next to that Barrick has, and geologically speaking, it's on trend because the structures that control Barrick's deposit come onto our ground and essentially control the mineralization we see there. It's like Atlanta. You've got to go deeper down to hit the gold. A lot of the holes out there just didn't go deep enough back in the early days. That was one of the reasons we picked it up, is because with that old drilling, a lot of it was pretty shallow. With the drilling we did in 2021, I think we have a pretty good handle on the model for the mineralization. Matter of fine-tuning that with additional drilling, doing some more geologic mapping out there now, using the geology that we hit in our drills to map. And I think we're going to see a very different picture in 2022. Coming up this season, the plan here is to try to get another 40 to 50 holes down, covering a much larger area than we did in 2021. And then I want to see if we can't string these areas together to show continuity of mineralization from one target to the next. If I can do that, then we have the right type of scenario out there that could potentially give us an economic deposit.
We're going to take it deeper and see where it goes.
So that's a pretty big volume of ore if it is all mineralized.
You're damn right.
It's exciting that we've got Atlanta, which is starting to add mineralization in a footprint that could substantiate a more significant resource. It's further exciting to me that we have another project that with success could also turn into something where you're tangibly adding ounces. Then on top of that, what Atlanta doesn't have, and Lewis does, is Lewis is right in the middle of elephant country. So you've got Barrick and Newmont touching us from almost all sides. They've got active on their exploration again in the area, which is a sign of the times. And then their Hilltop deposit is right on trend from ours, which Hilltop's about 2 million ounces. This project really has potential to become something very significant. 2019, we drill a deep hole at Iron Point. It intercepts lower plate rock. And at the very bottom of the hole, we strike an anomalous zone of gold, which at the time we didn't know until the drilling program was over and the assays came back. We got excited for two reasons. One, we intercepted lower plate rock for one of the first known times at Iron Point. And two, we confirmed that there's some gold down there. This year, we've started the process of going back. The pre-collars are done. So 5 holes have been pre-collared down to a depth of a few hundred meters. And next up is core rigs are going to come in and continue those holes down to depth. There's 2 ambitions there. One is a further technical success. So that means we'd like to hit lower plate rock again, confirm the presence in these various zones to show a bigger footprint. And of course, we'd love to see not just anomalous gold, but some gold grades that are getting more significant.
The drilling will be underway by the middle of April, and we will know here fairly quickly whether or not we can continue the mineralization that was found 3 years ago in deep core hole 8C. We are still at pretty much an initial stage of exploration at Iron Point because there really haven't been too many deep holes put down out there. So we're the first company that's gone in there and actually done serious deep drilling for deep mineralization.
Iron Point's really exciting because on the one hand, you've got Atlanta and the land package substantiating the full market cap, in my mind, of Nevada King. And then Iron Point's like the Hail Mary. This is an elephant target. It's deep, it's expensive to get to. So let's take a subjective number of a 10% chance of success. You're spending $2 million for the potential to hit something that could give you $1 billion of market cap. And so those are fun odds, and those are odds that I think investors are excited to see the outcome on.
Yeah, it's high risk. Yes, it is. But in that part of Nevada, that's what you have to do. And when you hit, you tend to hit big.
We have a very good and supportive shareholder base, and that allows us to access financing in a much better form than a lot of other companies. We just announced a fully subscribed financing. I'm taking the lead order, and Cal Herron is taking a significant size check, as are a couple of the board members and other members of management.
You put skin in the game, you put your money where your mouth is. Not a problem with that, not with the quality of the programs we have and the quality of the projects we have and the location of these projects.
And then beyond that, there's some shareholders who own a significant amount of Nevada King that have opted to further support the company. And I believe that the actual publicly traded company and the people who are buying the shares in the open market are so important to keep on side and to keep excited. And when possible, doing a financing at market without a warrant, with strong insider support. That's the sort of thing that can actually act as a catalyst for a company and that the stock can benefit. And we're so used to seeing companies that go ahead and finance at a discount with full warrants and are doing deals that clearly are favoring the people that are providing the capital at that time. And, it's sometimes necessary, but it's also a very short-sighted approach that does not foster the kind of excitement that you want to keep in the people who are supporting you day to day. So I'm just excited that we were able to put together that financing. And that is going to give us the runway where the stock can actually perform if we do have successful results. I mean, if you don't stay ahead in the exploration business of the capital demands and you have a successful hole, but the market knows you immediately have to finance on the back of that, how are your shareholders benefiting? And that's what we're trying to avoid. And, it's nice that we're able to do that.
Let's say one of our deep holes or both of our deep holes at Iron Point that we're working on over the next 2 months hit. That's going to require us stepping off and putting more deep holes down. That's going to require additional funds very quickly. We don't have a lot of time to do that. You got to strike while you can, because otherwise we lose the drills and it'll be another year before we can get around to it.
I look around in the landscape of Nevada, at least in the junior sphere, and I can't identify other companies that are active at the degree we are on multiple programs at the same time.
We now have the people, the tools, the financing, and the ground to really go out and start looking for elephants.
Nevada King 2022 is going to be the most exciting year yet. The work that's gone into putting the land package together for the past 5 years and getting them to the drill ready state that they are was necessary. But now is the time where, we're putting in an excess of 20,000 meters of drilling this year. We're going to have several rigs going. Atlanta is currently planned for a 100-hole program with 13,000 meters. But I'm expecting we're going to be drilling a few thousand meters at Lewis. And then Iron Point is a 6,400 meter drill program. The drill bit is where the discoveries are made, and the amount of drilling that we're doing this year exceeds all years combined on the amount of drilling that we've done. So I think there's going to be some surprises. I think that the gold market right now is in a spot where these kind of companies are poised to move. If you asked me a few months ago, what's the outlook for gold? I'd tell you short term, I don't know. Mid and long term, very bullish. If you ask me now, short term, mid term, long term, exceedingly bullish. The majors have put in bottoms across the board. They are up anywhere from 20 to 40%. And what happens in every move is the majors go first, and then the euphoria around the exploration space is what's next. So I just think that the timeline is very fortuitous for the shareholders. It's going to be exciting. We've got drilling going on at the same time as you could have some real inflows of capital and interest coming into the space. And it's the surprises that get me excited, and those come in on the assay tables from the labs. It's going to be incredibly exciting. I mean, the next few years, Nevada is going to be boom town for gold.
There aren't too many project geos that are willing to put their money into their own company, but that's also how you make money as an exploration geo too. We constantly roll the dice for our clients' behalf, but then every now and then we run across something that we say, okay, this is something I have to invest in, because this type of opportunity very seldom comes around.